Hello, dear Lecka community. My name is Markus Gnurk. In fact, I am the founder behind Lecka Nutrition, and I am launching today the first episode, the first recording of Lecka Bites. What is Lecka Bites? Well, for anyone who doesn't know Lecka, first and foremost, we are an endurance nutrition brand that's been founded in 2020 in Vietnam/Singapore. I was at the time in Vietnam, however, so I would consider it a Vietnam company. I would go into the details later. And I am keen to bring all the raw and, however, curated stories from the Lecka universe to you. If you're listening, you've done already a good job. You have now stayed 40 seconds into the first episode. That is incredible, and I hope you will enjoy many more seconds and minutes and hours to come for the Lecka Bites. I want to bring you the bites. I want to bring you the delicious, yummy bites of how to build this company. I want to take you along to this journey. I am a single founder. That doesn't make it too easy sometimes. It comes with a lot of downsides where you are confused many times, where you don't know what to do, where you are missing someone to talk to, so you might take decisions a bit too fast, a bit too slow, depends how you see it, but also has a lot of upsides, which is you have control. You can decide whatever you want to do, more or less. I mean, there are always customers and other interest groups here who have something to say, but in general, you're your own boss. And I feel I've been talking to so many people in the last 4 years. I am so grateful for all the support and advice I've been getting along the way. I would love to bring all those conversations to this Lecka Bites recordings, where I feel the story of Lecka is unique, like any other story, to be honest with you, but I do like to share and give you the insights. We are building a brand, we're building a company. I've been posting on LinkedIn many times. I've been sharing on Facebook, and it's amazing to hear the feedback and the positive vibes on various platforms. I want to bring now my own voice, literally, to this and give even more insights what's going on. I do believe that transparency is key. I do believe that people should know what's going on. I want to bring you the brand closer. If you don't care, that's also okay. Then this is not your podcast. If you're curious to join this journey, continue to join this journey, depends on where you started, I would love for you to get onto the Lecka Bites podcast, help us to grow. And even if you don't like our products, that's also totally fine. I would love you to learn how are we building a company out of Southeast Asia for the world. I do believe we're onto something special. I do believe that we are trying something different. We are a company that has been doing nutrition that leveraged and used the natural ingredients from Southeast Asia, using it for anything like trail running, ultra running, cycling, Ironman, triathlon, you name it. I think many exciting sports out there that are growing, and we are making energy bars and energy gels for that industry. I'm sure whoever knows me, you've heard this before, so not many news to you, but thanks for listening so far. It's been now 3 minutes and 40. I appreciate any second you're spending with us. So what's going to happen the next few weeks, months, hopefully years, is that I'm going to pick up conversations along the way. I will interview people, athletes, other founders, my employees, customers, partners, really anyone that comes my way and is open to be on this recording. I will get them on here and bring you those little bites, little stories from the Lecka universe right into your ear. Whether you're traveling, you're running, you're working, you're sleeping, hopefully not really sleeping, but maybe just snoozing, I would love you to come along and just listen, really, and give feedback. I have so many question marks in my head. I have so many thoughts in my head. I think I've got some kind of ADHD, maybe, not sure, but I really have a busy head. So this also helps me to just focus on what's important, to make sure that all those conversations are focused and are getting in the right direction. So Right now I'm in Germany, so I've been just coming back from a long UTMB week. UTMB is Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc, the largest trail festival in the world, where there are many different races from 55 kilometer, 100 kilometer, 100 miles even, which were happening last week in Chamonix in France. There were 10,000 runners, I think, for 5-6 days there. If you add on all the support crews, the families, the kids, the brands, I don't know, I think there were maybe 50,000-60,000 people coming to Chamonix. Incredible what's been happening there. The largest trail festival in the world, where you can really see the trail running industry growing, where there were so many brands, from the shoe brands, nutrition brands, to media brands. I mean, just the shoe brand Hoka, which is the title sponsor, sends hundreds of people there. I don't even know the number, but they booked an entire hotel for all the crews and all the athletes they're supporting. You saw 1.57 million people on the live streams across all events in different languages. 1.7 million people watching it. It was a great and fantastic way to really get to know the European, I would say, and / North American trail scene. As someone like me who was now 4.5 years in Vietnam and before roughly 5.5 years in Singapore, this is all new. I'm new to Europe. I'm new to all of this, and I'm learning really what's going on in Europe. And that was a fantastic way to get to know Europe. Or in this case, trail running in Europe. The French, many French athletes won. You had some Americans winning too. The Asians, unfortunately, didn't do so well this year. Many had issues with the stomach, which might be covered later in this show too, because stomach is nutrition, nutrition is stomach. Super important, and a lot of people are having issues with long distance and nutrition, something we are trying to help and to solve, of course, with our natural nutrition. Yeah, it was great to be in the France and in the Alps. I really liked it. Got back to Germany now. I am at my hometown right now, and I am about to fly to San Francisco, California, United States of America. I'm going to spend the next few weeks there to, scale the brand, expand the brand to California. We're about to be available on Amazon.com, which is super exciting. We have more partnerships coming along for America, and as you might know, one of the largest markets in the world. I think the largest market in the world for sports, for trail running. It might compete with France, not sure, or Central Europe, but in general, I think the Americans love doing outdoor sports. The number I saw somewhere is 175 million people do outdoor sports in America. Somewhat hard to believe, but let it be just half of that already. It's enough for us to enter, and we're super keen as a Southeast Asian brand to be honest with you, the first Southeast Asian brand to join the American market in the endurance nutrition world with our delicious tropical fruits, which, you might have tasted before, maybe not, but if you have not had a mango from Vietnam, get a mango from Vietnam, get a pineapple. Oh my God, they're so good. They're the best ever and super nutritious. So it's a different story what Vietnam has to offer. I'm going there on Thursday. I'm looking forward to going back. I've been there already a few months this year. So another trip now. And I'm going to cover quite a few stories from America too. I think it's super exciting how our very small, really tiny Vietnamese Southeast Asian brand is now expanding the other way to America. Usually it's the Western brands who are expanding to Vietnam, but in this case, we are coming over to America. In a very big market, I always call it. We are the small fish joining a big shark tank, where it's a very, really tough market. But again, just from the outside it looks tough. Maybe once we're inside, it looks easier. Who knows? You will for sure hear many stories on that. And I think that already in itself is pretty cool. At least I find it very cool, and my team finds it very cool in Vietnam to do this. I'm very grateful for the support of the team, by the way, that is doing a fantastic job out of Vietnam. You will also hear them eventually. And I'm going to be back in Vietnam soon, but for now, it's America. So stay tuned. If you have listened already for the last 9 minutes, I really appreciate, again, any second. It really means a lot to me. And I'm going to have today a special guest on the show, probably one of the biggest fans I have. So stay tuned, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers. All right, so as I said, I am sitting here probably with one of my biggest fans, but she might be very biased because she happens to be my dear mother. Hey, Mom.
Hey, my dear Markus.
So, why do you think I started Lecka?
It's an interesting question. I think what I know is that he wanted to do something by hand, and he wanted to create something what is made by hand.
That's true. Yeah. How did you experience me the last 4 years when I was doing Lecka?
It's interesting. It's definitely did him good, I would say. He was more committed, and he got more and more confidence. It's perhaps also because he grew up with a dog, or he educated a young dog beside him, yeah. But it is a very interesting challenge, and that is a good fortune for a young man, I would say.
Okay. And of course, I mean, the question is, what do you think of the products? You have tried them since pretty much day one. I remember it was 4 years ago here when I was here in Germany, actually 2019, when I came for Christmas and I had the idea of making energy bars. You actually bought me for Christmas present one of those grinders, and I started to buy ingredients, flew back to Vietnam, and made the first products. Do you remember the taste of the first energy bar products?
Yes, I do. It was now I have to say something to that point. What my son said, what Markus said, it is what really amazing. He just flew over to Vietnam in a new country, what he didn't know before, and just with this machine, and he started to mix up his recipes in the kitchen, in his own kitchen. That was amazing. And he posted me photos, and I was look at a man who had so many enthusiasm. And then I had the chance to taste it, because when I flew over and to taste it, it was amazing, fantastic. All the fruity taste, and the nuts with it, and the crispy thing between your teeth. It was amazing. And then I started to try different bars here in Germany. I found it was such a big difference. It was really amazing.
Yeah, again, you're not paid to say this, but thank you, I appreciate it. Have you also tried the gel actually?
Yes, that was only 2 weeks ago when we were in Chamonix, or 1 week even. And there I tried first other gels, and then I got the chance to try his new gel.
On this note, I did the typical product testing where you give the customer some other gels first, so they get anchored by the taste, and then you give your own product. So just FYI, that worked quite well.
And I really was delighted, I must say, because of the taste. It was so special, so fruity, and not at all sweet, artificial sweetness. It was fruity sweet, and it was fantastic. I really could directly realize the difference of the taste.
What do you think I should do better?
To continue your Lecka business, I would say, nothing better, because it has so many possibilities to let it grow up, so many branches where you can come in or get further in. So I mean, it's a good fortune, and I wish him much luck for his decisions.
Thank you. So last week I took you to Chamonix to join us for the UTMB Trail Festival. Really, What were your impressions as a complete outsider? What was your key impressions of this trail running week in Chamonix?
Yeah, my impression was that there are so many people who are in sport and who like sport, who like um, running, and such special long running, uphill, downhill, and long distances. It was amazing, and that was the sport. This is the point, the one side of the sportive people who did many efforts, but I also think the people who was shouting, who was standing on the street to support, it was also some amazing, and I was also addicted to it as I was with the Olympic Games. So it was fantastic watching always the live report. It was a very special event for me.
My mom ended up watching the YouTube channel, like I think it was Saturday morning, 7 a.m. And what do I see? She's laying in bed watching the live coverage of UTMB. So the YouTube streaming definitely works.
Yeah, it really works, and it takes you with in the enthusiasm of doing sport.
And what do you think? What was the outcome for Lecka at UTMB? What did we take away from it?
Yeah, it's interesting. There are so many other companies who are much bigger and who are they got a name already. But I still think Lecka is very special, and it is not as known as the others, but I hope it will get once as success, because it is a very special thing, and it is not easy to come in competition with it, but I'm convinced Markus will find a good possibility, a good way, and he will have success. I'm believing it.
Okay, thank you. This is, by the way, completely unscripted, so my mom is put on the spot here to practice her English. Good job, Mom.
Thank you.
So what do you think the next 12 months look like for Lecka?
Yeah, you would like to expand not only in Vietnam and Asia, where you were very successful. Now you're coming over to Europe, and you're now going to America to advance or to get known more in America, and it's fantastic.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for the support since day -10 for sure. Thank you for buying the machine back in the days that got me to make the first prototypes in my kitchen, Ho Chi Minh City. Thank you for believing in me, of course. I really appreciate it. You're sweating here because of all the English speaking, so good job.
I like to speak English.
She does, and French too, so it's quite funny to have those mixed together into 3 languages. But yeah, and actually, what does Lecka mean in German?
Lecka, I think it's a combination of Lecka, South Africa, where Markus has been for volunteer year after his finishing school, and there he it is a South African Afrikaans word, and also the CK is something in his name, family name, and it also sounds a little bit very familiar in German.
What does it mean in German?
It's very nice, a good taste.
Delicious.
Yes. Delicious, exactly. Yeah, that's
yummy.
It. Yeah, and so I think it's a very nice chosen word. What everybody in every language you can use, you pronounce it in the same way. It's also a good idea. Yeah, my son, I wish you all the best and much luck. My heart is always with you, and my arrows are always flying with you.
Danke. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Okay, that was my dear mother, who you can see is very proud of me. So that's always a bit awkward. But anyway, she's just here next to me, so I thought, why don't I let her talk a bit? She is so proud and is so nice. And it's not a family business, it's really my business. But, I do owe her so much. So I thought in the first episode, it's actually very appropriate to get her on board to, get her voice into this, really, because it's important. She's a super great support on the whole journey. She never doubts me. Well, she sometimes doubts me, but most of the time she supports me. As you can see and hear, she believes in me. That's very good. And I think that is really key to many entrepreneurs. We can do what we can do really with the support of the loved ones, including, of course, also my wife. It's been really fantastic to do this for the last 4 years with that support. So that's an important part of the story, which maybe people don't talk about, but here we go. That is your first Lecka Bite. I hope you enjoyed it. Please reach out. And if not, also fine. If you didn't like it, also fine. If you like it, come back next week. We have more to cover. Cheerio and thank you.